what's up YouTube? We're approaching Christmas. It's pretty much here, so in the spirit of the holiday season, I'm going to show you how to make your builds a little bit more Christmassy. Now bear in mind, you can do this to absolutely any house or build that you might have, but I've just made a very simple house to use as an example. So I'll be showing you how to turn builds like this one into builds like this one. This is a lot better, and you can do this in 7 easy steps. It's not even that difficult. If you enjoyed this video, and if you use any one or any 7 of these tips, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I think that this is a nice video, especially around Christmas. It's a great way to just spruce up those builds that are otherwise a little bit boring. But as I said, please do remember to like the video if you do enjoy this content. I have a few more Christmas themed builds coming up as well. You can find those in the card system in the description below. But without any further ado, let's get the video started. Tip number 1. So the first tip that I have for you is Christmas lights. If you go outside, which I don't tend to do very often, you'll notice that in real life, loads of people have Christmas lights on and around their houses. Why can't you do the same in Minecraft? To make these, all you need is a nice array of colors. Pick out some of your favorite colors and grab them. The brighter, the better. I'm also going to be using some fence. Anyone will do, but I like birch just because it's nice and pale. So, take your house, and this could be a rustic house, modern house, whatever, you can adapt this to any house, and we're going to begin by taking the very bottom of the roof, on the left hand side here, I'm going to place a birchwood fence underneath it. And I'm going to place a light. This one is going to be red. I'm going to, leaving a gap of 1 moving up the roof, I want to destroy this upside down block, and I'm going to use a yellow. Let's use a yellow. I'm going to leave a gap of 1, which will now put us at the top of the roof. I'm going to destroy this block, and I'm going to use, let's use a magenta. I'm going to work back down the roof. I want to leave a gap of 1. I'm going to destroy this block, and I'm going to use a green. And then finally, I can't really leave a gap and then destroy a block, so I'm going to use a birch fence to kind of hang the lights off, and I'm going to use the color blue, I think. And that is a nice way to add some Christmas lights to your house. But you might not want to stop at the front of your house. You might want to work your way to the back of the house. So if we come to the back of the house, we do the same thing. We can hang some birchwood fence off the bottoms of the roof, and then we can pick a couple of colors, maybe magenta concrete. We'll use this one, and why not use some white concrete too? Use a little bit of white, and then we can do the same thing here. So we'll leave it a gap of 1. We'll destroy a block, and then we have to destroy the top because it's the same on the front, and we'll just pick out a couple of colors. So maybe orange would be nice, and maybe a blue here. And what would go well in between these? I think a lime concrete would look nice. So yeah, something like that. Add some lights around your house. And on the sides as well, you can do the same thing. If you want to have more lights, you could either build them into the roof. So for instance, you could build them into the roof, and I'll show you guys 2 different ways of doing this. You could build them into the roof, maybe a lime, a yellow, and maybe a white. You could build them into the roof, or alternatively, if we come across the opposite side here, you can use the birchwood fence to hang them off of the roof itself. So it's kind of up to you, and you will use what can we use here? So maybe a green, and maybe a light blue, and what would go well in between these? Shall we go purple? No, maybe a yellow, a nice yellow to go in between these. And that's just a nice way to add a bit of color to your house. And whether you want to hang the lights or whether you want to build them into the roof is completely up to you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is tip number 1. Tip number 2. Alright, tip number 2, guys. So what I have for you now is a wreath. Yep, it's as simple as that. All I think is, what do people do in real life? Apply it to Minecraft. Christmas wreaths. To make these, all you need at the base level is spruce leaves and red concrete. That's pretty much all you need, or you could use yellow, or you could add a bit of gold in there. But a wreath is basically those circle of leaves with like baubles and stuff put on them. If you wanted to make this a bit more detailed, I'll show you guys how to add detail to all of these things, depending on how much you want to add. Grab some item frames and grab some individual colours. But a wreath is basically red concrete in the centre and spruce wood leaves around the outside. So left, right, above, down, all the way around the outside. If you want to add more detail, place item frames on the grass or leaf part of the wreath and add in additional colours inside, if you like. And then I guess it's a little bit more authentic, but you might not like how that looks. So, like, that's the more detailed version, but if we come to the back, we'll have the more standard version. So, like, we'll put it right in the middle, like red concrete in the middle, spruce wood leaves left, right, up and down, and that is just your bog standard Christmas wreath. It's not much by itself, but when you add the lights and stuff, it really does make a difference. That's tip number 2, a very easy one. Tip number 3. So, for tip number 3, I am going to recommend an ice fishing pond. Now, I'm not sure why this screams Christmas to me, but for some reason it does. It really is a nice decoration. We're going to make an ice fishing pond. So we need chests, water buckets, snow, packed ice, regular ice, oak fence, leads, and some sort of animal. Chickens are alright. You can pretty much just use just about anything. So to make this, we're simply going to, in front of our house, we're going to dig out a circular-ish part of land. So sort of like a circle but jagged. We want to dig out the grass inside of it, and we want to place packed ice around the edge of it, like this. We want to place ice in the center, leaving enough space in the middle to be able to place some water. We want to place 2 oak fence in front of the water. We want to extend the second oak fence outwards and above. We want to place a chest next to that oak fence, or the very bottom of the oak fence. And we want to dig in the ground towards the back of the pond. So somewhere like here, we want to dig into the ground. And you might want to make a little bit of a chamber. I'm going to spawn a chicken down here, attach a lead. I'm going to move up and attach it to the top of the fishing rod. And I'm going to... I do believe that the chicken is dead. So the idea, I always have trouble doing this, is that the chicken is attached to the lead is attached to the fishing rod, and there is a line going from the fishing rod into the pond. It looks very realistic. It looks really nice. Let me try that again. Let's see if we can do this without killing the chicken. Yeah, I do believe that the chicken suffered from its injuries. But if we perhaps like allow the chicken to like roam a little bit, and then we place the lead here. Hopefully the chicken doesn't jump out. That is something that can happen. Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is if we dig it under the pond, this might do better. So like chicken, lead, move up, attach, snow. The chicken should survive, and it is also going to move around, which is very handy because it looks as though there's actual fish in the pond. Whether you think this is Christmas or not, I'm not sure even I do. You've got to admit, it really does enhance our house, and it just adds to the overall feel. Tip number 4. Tip number 4 is an obvious one. I'm sure you guys would have thought of this, no question without me. Christmas trees. We all love them. Let's make one. So to make one, at its base, we need spruce wood, lime concrete, and block of gold. That's it for the tree. Everything else is decoration. All of these colours of concrete are going to be baubles, and all of these shulker boxes are going to make presents. So I'm going to make my tree here, and I'm going to start off by placing 2 spruce wood coming up from the ground. 1, 2. I'm then going to place a lime concrete on top. Extend that lime every direction by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. We're going to join the corners to turn this into a circle, like this. We then want to add a layer of green concrete on top of this that shrinks the circle and creates an additional layer. Like that. We are then going to place an additional layer of lime concrete on top of this to make the tree a bit more layered. It looks a lot nicer. We are then going to place a square of concrete at the top of this, so like a 3x3 square in the middle. We're going to extend that up. We're then going to place a plus shape on top of this. We're then going to place 2 additional lime greens on top of the center, 1, 2, with a block of gold on top of that. And that is a nice bog standard Christmas tree. We can get rid of them, and we can grab our colours. So, Christmas trees obviously have ornaments, decoration, baubles, that sort of thing. So, I'm simply going to destroy a few blocks around the tree. So, wherever I see fit, wherever I feel as though like a colour of some sort should go, I'm just going to destroy around the tree, and I'm going to add in that colour. The trick is not to add too much. I mean, that might be good enough. It depends whether you want more colour, less colour, but that's alright for me. Just make sure it's nice and colourful enough for you going around the outside. I mean, maybe like one there, maybe even, and maybe even like one here, something like that. You guys understand. I'm sure that you can just, add as many baubles and stuff as you like, dig them into the tree, replace the blocks that would have been there previously. And I'm going to ditch these colours, and I'm also now going to grab the shulker boxes, and I'm just going to sparingly place some different coloured shulker boxes around the base of the tree, just like that. I'm just going to place one of each. I believe I have 6 there, and that is going to be our Christmas tree. Very easy, looks great, easily applied to a build. That concludes tip number 4. Tip number 5. Tip number 5 is possibly my favourite out of all of these. I'm going to recommend you guys build snowmen. These can be built out of a massive amount of materials. You can do these in all sorts of different ways, but here's how I like to do them. I like to use snow, stone buttons, oak fence, and dragon heads, and I like to place 2 snow on top of each other. I like to place an oak fence left and right left and right of the upper snow. I like to place buttons in front of each one of those snows, and then a dragon head on top facing a particular direction. So you can build those in many different ways. You could, for instance, use white concrete. You could use like regular buttons. You could use like acacia fence, and you could use maybe like a jack-o'-lantern head or whatever. And you could have the same sort of thing. So perhaps over here we can have like a couple of white concrete on top of each other, jack-o'-lantern head on top, buttons in front, acacia fence on the sides. There you have another snowman. You could use any sorts of heads, you can use any sorts of buttons, you can use any sorts of fence, and it all looks fine. And the benefit to the jack-o'-lantern is it does light up. So that is tip number 5. Very easy to make, and I particularly like the dragon head one. I think it looks quite funny. I really like being able to position the head as well. It's up to you. Tip number 6. So tip number 6 is undeniably Christmassy, and it might be something you've not thought of: Santa's sleigh. So to make Santa's sleigh, we need all of these materials that I've got right here. By the way, we'll need leads, that's undeniable, but whether you want to use llamas to pull your sleigh, whether you want to use chickens, donkeys, horses, it's completely up to you. You might want to use like a fun animal like the llama, which I enjoy, because they make weird noises and I just like how they look. Or you might, like I said, want to use pigs, cows, whatever it is you might want to use. So that's up to you, the animal. I'm going to recommend llamas. So we're going to start off Santa's sleigh by placing a quartz slab on the ground. I want my sleigh out here, I think. I'm going to place a quartz slab behind that block. And I'm going to place then a red concrete above that quartz slab. I'm going to place an oak wood fence in front of that red concrete, and I'm going to extend the fence to the left by 2 with the concrete. 1, 2. I'm then going to place an oak fence, a red concrete behind it. I'm going to join these 2 red concretes together in the ground like this. I want to then place a quartz slab to the left of the bottom red concrete, and I want to extend it forwards by 1 to match the shape on the other side. I want to come behind the build, and I want to place 3 rows of red coming backwards from the base of the sleigh. 1, 2, and 3. And I want to extend up the last 2 rows, the sides of the last 2 rows. I want to place red concrete here and here. And I want to join that together at the back. I want to place chests on top of the middle part of the back, with stairs in front of the chest on the floor. I want to place red concrete next to the chests, and I want to place glowstone behind those red concrete, and I want to join the glowstone together using red concrete. Place red concrete underneath the glowstone and the red concrete, and place a quartz slab coming out of the back of the sleigh on the left and right hand side. I'm then going to use quartz stairs, and I want to place quartz stairs in this position and this position to give the appearance of, like, you know, those sleigh blades or whatever you'd like call it. You guys know what I'm talking about, the thing that, like, the sleigh sits on top of. That's what that's supposed to be. We're going to use wooden trapdoors on the glowstone, every single side of the glowstone, that is, each one of the 4 sides or 3 sides that are showing. And there's actually 6 sides if you... whatever, you guys get the idea. You just want to cover up all the glowstone. We're going to use white carpet inside of the sleigh, just in front of the, like, stairs area, coming towards the front. Not on the sides, though. And to finish this off, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to attach our llama, the flying llama. So we're going to spawn llama in, going to lead it straight to one of the oak wood fence. Another llama, and I'm going to lead it straight to the oak wood fence. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Santa's sleigh, a great addition to your house. It really does make a lot of difference. And we do have quite a lot here now. Which leaves only one thing. Tip number 7. Tip number 7 is the most obvious out of all of the tips, yet one of the most important. Snow. That's right. So I'm going to grab a shovel for this, snow, and I'm going to use snow. These 2 items have the same name, but one is the block and one is the actual snow that you, like, build up on the floor. Like, you can build it up to different heights and stuff. It's really cool. So we're simply going to kind of, like, create an outline around the build using the singular snow. I'll call it, like, the carpet snow. I'm going to kind of, like, put an outline around the build using the carpet snow. I'd prefer that the llamas don't stand on it, but I'm going to kind of create an outline. This is going to show me where I want to fill in with snow, because that's the most important part of this build. Once you add the snow, you'll see that the entire build is enhanced by a lot. You'll notice that the snow kind of amplifies everything that we've done here. So you can see here that we've kind of created, like, a nice circular-ish sort of shape around our build. I'm also going to create a path leading from the front door using the diamond shovel. I'm going to create kind of like a grass path like that, just leading from the door to the outer part of the property. I also want to dig into the roof of the house. I want to dig into the roof. I'm going to destroy some of the stairs, and I'm going to replace it with snow. This looks like we have snow forming on the roof. In kind of like patterns like this, similar patterns to as you'd see clouds, really does make a difference to the house's roof. It really does look cool. It's completely up to you whether you want to take the time to destroy a roof and replace some of it with snow, but as you can see, it really does make a difference. The rest of it is really literally just going to be about placing snow everywhere inside of the area that you've just created. So you might not want to like I don't know, it depends how much time you want to spend on this, but the best advice I can give you is use the snow like it's going out of fashion. Use a lot of snow. And the best way to do it is to, like, you don't want it to be an even coverage of snow. And what I mean by that is, like, you don't want it to look like a carpet. You don't just want like a boring carpet going like just, you know, surrounding your house. You want the snow to be bumpy. You want loads of bumps. So the best way to do it is like random. Like if you just keep mashing that left trigger, or you know, whatever it is you're playing this on. I'm playing this on Xbox One, so I'm using the controller, obviously, left trigger. Whatever you guys are playing it on or equivalent, whatever your block placing button / doohickey of choice is, just keep mashing it and moving around as you do it. That's what I'm doing, and you just want to build up areas of snow, and you want to, you know, do it randomly, like I said. If you want to be a bit more logical about it, like, you might want to build up more snow, like, towards the side of the house. Like, where snow would be able to gather easily, so, like, maybe, like, around the base of the Christmas tree, and around the base of the snowman, that's where you might want to put higher parts of snow. But, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. You don't have to put that much thought into it. If you just randomly spread the snow is very fickle anyway. It kind of just does what it wants. You know, you can't really go too wrong. So I think that we've actually got quite a good coverage now. Yeah, I mean, the rest of the house could use some, like, around the back and stuff. But you guys kind of get the idea at this. And you'll find that some blocks you can't add snow to, like in front of the snowman. Destroy that block, use regular snow. So where you can't use the building snow, use snow block. And you can do that going all the way around the house, and it just makes a nice difference. And now you've figured out, I mean, that's tip number 7, guys. That's it. You've figured out how to turn a boring house into a house that is not only Christmassy, but it's a lot more interesting to look at. I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that you've at least found one of the 7 tips very, very useful. I hope that you managed to upgrade your Minecraft homes, no matter what they look like, into something that is a bit more Christmassy. I'm hoping that Santa comes and sees you now that you've used this guide to make your house look a bit more Christmassy. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to hit that like button. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. That might not happen if you don't do that. If you would like to see more Christmas stuff, I mean, we've not got that much time on the channel, but you can suggest it down below if you like. I will also be linking to some more Christmas-related builds that will be in the card system in the description below, and you'll be able to find all sorts of cool stuff in there too. I've made a few Christmas builds this year. Card system, description below, you'll be able to check out all of them. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. I hope that you get everything you want for Christmas, and I'll see you guys in, I like pretending to be the Ender Dragon. I'll see you guys in the next video.